There was a foundation of tough love with my father.
He would beat my ass when I was 5 years old. There's a testosterone thing that just happens between sons and their fathers.
And he wanted sympathy. And I said, if you want sympathy, go home to your mother and get it.
He said, you are throwing it all away. It is the worst mistake you will ever make. And I wish I had someone who could just pull me aside and, hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
I had a very complicated relationship with my dad. And it was really, there was a foundation of tough love with my father. And wasn't a big I love you guy.
My dad got into professional wrestling in the 60s and the 70s.
150 pound, Rocky Johnson.
He would get up at usually 5:30 in the morning, and he would say, if I get up, you're gonna get up too. Yes. And I wouldn't work out, but he would just make sure that I was there and be with him, and that was our time that we could spend together. My dad always said too that regardless of what you do in life and where you go, respect is gonna be given when it's earned, and you have to go out and earn it every single day. So at 14 years old, I thought, well, what can I do? The heroes in my life, Muhammad Ali, for example, professional wrestlers, they're all men who have worked hard with their hands and they built their body. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do what my dad taught me and these other heroes. I'm gonna go build my body.
And I went out and I played football for Jody Swick. I fell in love with the game of football, and I started getting recruited from every college across the country. My thought process started to change. That's when I started thinking about goals and what I wanted to accomplish.
My goal was to play in the NFL. Again, because we didn't have a lot of money, so I wanted to be the first one to buy my parents a house, and the dream didn't come true. I didn't get drafted. I didn't get any offers, nothing. I had to work up in Canada at the Canadian Football League. When I was cut from there, my dad had to come pick me up, and I'll never forget, we were on I-75. He lived in Tampa, came to Miami, got in his pickup truck. We drove up I-75. And I'm 23 years old. I am forced to move back in with my parents.
He got sassy with me one time. It was about 1.5 miles from home. And he wanted sympathy. And it was pouring down rain. And I said, if you want sympathy, go home to your mother and get it.
And I wish I had someone at that time who could just pull me aside and, hey, it's gonna be okay. After about a month and a half of staying in that little apartment and cleaning, I got a phone call from the head coach of the team who cut me, the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. He called me and he said, hey, I know we cut you, but I'd like you to come back. I said, okay, I appreciate that, coach. Thank you very much. I'll think about it. And he said, okay, great. I hung up the phone, and my dad said, you're gonna do it, right? I said, no, I don't think so. And he goes, what? I said, my gut tells me I'm done. He said, what are you gonna do? I took a deep breath. I said, I'd like to get into the business. He said, what business? I said, the wrestling business. He said, you are throwing it all away. It is the worst mistake you will ever make. He said, you're ruining your career.
At that time, we were living in a small apartment in Tampa, Florida, and he said, look around. This is what I have. I don't have anything. And I don't want that for you.
I said, maybe I'll be no good. But I feel like in my heart I have to do this.
Oh, you get goosebumps listening to this crowd.
I was the hottest heel in the company. And things were on fire.
Correct me if I have any of this wrong. You bought your mom a house for Christmas.
I did.
1218. A brand new home. Have you done that?
It's so cool to buy her a house.
And you bought your dad a house too.
I did. I bought my old man a house too.
So that's the greatest thing ever, right? To buy your parents a house.
Yeah, right. Man, I wish I had one more shot, you know, just to say goodbye, say I love you, say thank you.
Rocky the Soul Man Johnson passed away
He passed away on January 15th, and we just buried him a few days ago. And I didn't get a chance to say the things that I wanted to say, or I wish he would have said the things to me, the important, critical things that anchor us that I didn't get from him. But then the birth of a child and what that does, and the lens perspective that just shifts, it's the greatest thing that I have ever experienced in my life. My daughters taught me how to be more caring and more sensitive and more selfless.
Yeah.
My dad loved me with the small capacity in which he was capable of. So the relationship that I had with my dad was a relationship that was appropriate at that time. Very important to heal, to make sure that we come back to a gratitude for what I was able to have with him.
What the soul man, my dad, was able to accomplish during his career was no small feat. I remember night after night watching him perform all over the country, being awed by his quickness, by his agility. He was an amazing performer.
And for Dwayne, for everything you've done for me. You made me proud by continuing our family wrestling legacy. But I will say this from the bottom of my heart, and I love him very much. He's my son, and he always will be, and I'm very proud of him.
I learned from that, and so with my daughters, I want to be as full and as present with the love that I give them. I want my daughters to know that I love them unconditionally. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, she's like, oh my God, you're embarrassing me. She's like, don't do it. She's like, don't do it. The thing that has worked for me is to remember the hard times.
I've realized that the most important thing that I could do with my daughter is lead our life with love. I said, do me a favor, I want you to tell me what's the one thing that you love most about our relationship? She said, well, that I trust you. For a 13-year-old girl to say that to her dad, considering where I was at 13, I love that girl.
If you guys out there, if you have parents around, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your babies, your children, your best friends, your grandparents, text them, call them, go see them if they're close by, and if you can hug them, I want you to hug them, because you never know what's around the corner. We just never know.